Hey there people, welcome to yet another one of these rolling vlogs of mine where I drive around and talk about things. I've been having this really weird issue with my iPhone lately. Yeah, I got an old iPhone 4 that I bought off Kijiji for 80 bucks because buddy said the screen was cracked, but the only crack in the screen is this tiny little hairline chip up by the front facing camera, and it doesn't even come near the camera. It's just a little chip. So when I saw it, I was like, 80 bucks? Well, he wanted, I offered him 75, but I didn't have a chance to break a 20. So I just gave him 80 bucks for it. There's nothing wrong. The sync cable it came with was pretty much chewed on and wrecked. But I had like 20 others because I used to own an iPhone 3GS. And with that, I got a bunch of other accessories like an iPhone dock and all this other crap and stuff and junk. But the phone's been working great up until recently, when all of a sudden now, the battery will just drain itself and the phone will become so hot you can't even touch it. Like literally, she'll cook. And you actually get that warning on the phone stating, please allow your device to cool down before you use it. So I did some research online, and some people said it was due to the iOS 6's new calendar app, which apparently it pulls all the information from Facebook. So all your friends on Facebook now, oh, for freak's sakes, this is gonna delay me even more, son of a bitch. But so it pulls all their contact information out and puts it up on your calendar, so like all their birthdays and everything. And if somebody makes an event like I don't know, somebody else's surprise birthday party and you're invited to it, it goes up on your calendar and all sorts of shit like that. But the problem is it pulls from it all the frickin' time. So the problem with that I have is that I thought that was what was killing my battery. So I went ahead and disabled that feature and disabled the Facebook contacts. So now the only people in my contact list are actually people in my contact list, not, you know, everybody on Facebook, because there's some people on my Facebook page that I've never actually met and only know me because of YouTube. But they put their phone numbers in there and stuff, and it shows up as a phone number that I can physically call. So I disabled all that, and it worked fine for a couple days, and then the problem started happening again. So I did a little bit of more research and discovered that the problem is actually, or it could be, that the battery has basically dislodged itself and it's not aligned properly or some shit. Now this gets me thinking. The battery can't be that big in these phones. It's got to be about as thick as a potato chip and maybe about as big as oh frig, it's got to be a tiny little card. Like, it's got to be a little guy, because there's no room inside of these damn phones to put a decent lithium-ion battery. So it's got to be a LiPo, a lithium polymer. So how the hell did it become dislodged leaves me clueless, because in theory that should never have happened. There's no rhyme or reason why or how the battery could have physically gotten dislodged. So one of the fixes is you take the phone apart and you remount the battery, and then that solves the problem, and you know, you go on, you're good to go. So I haven't tried that yet, but I was actually debating, because I have an upgrade available through my phone company to get a new phone. And I was thinking about, since I was on Android before, I had an LG Optimus Black, which it wasn't a bad phone, but it wasn't a good phone. It was a mid-range phone. The cameras on it were kife, and it took forever to get an update to Android 2.3, which is where it's stuck at now. There's no ice cream sandwich upgrade for it. And it only had the single core 1 gigahertz processor. But other than that, it did the job. Like, the phone was okay. It did the job and it was fine. But honestly, I'd like to get back into the Android bandwagon, and I was looking at the Samsung Galaxy S3 or the HTC One S, but the One S once again falls into the same problem as the iPhone, where the battery is a LiPo and you can't exchange it. The one thing I liked about my LG Optimus Black was I bought an expanded battery for it from Muggin Powers, and it gave me what was it, like, the stock battery had 1250 milliamps. The new battery has like 4000 milliamps. So literally I could run my Droid for days and days on end and the battery would barely drain. So the other option is I could contact a guy here in North Bay and send him my phone and have him throw I need a new home button for it because the home button's junk. You gotta like freaking smash the home button to get it to work. So that's kind of a pain in the cock. But I don't know, I could send it to Buddy Van Dudo, pay him $100 and he'd fix it all up and it might be good to go. Or I could just say screw it, buy the micro SIM to SIM and go back to using my LG Optimus Black, which was a reliable phone. Or the last ditch effort, I could say go out and get a new phone. Now would I get an iPhone again? I don't know. I'm kind of not impressed with my current iPhone. I'm kind of really mad that it's acting the way it is. I do like the simplicity of the iPhone, you know, it does the job, but I don't like the fragility of the iPhone. Mind you, the new iPhone 5 has that Gorilla Glass and it makes it really tough, but what I don't like about the iPhone 5 is, once again, uses Lightning connector, which is the same connector that the iPad 4th Gen has, which I have as well. So, I don't know, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to decide. What would you guys do if you were in the market to buy a new phone? Would you buy an Android? Which Android would you buy? Would you go buy a iPhone? Would you buy the iPhone 5 full out? Would you buy it on contract? What would you do? And let me know in the comments below, because I'm at a point right now where I'm about to drive out to my buddy Bill's T-Max's house out in Orangeville, ask him to load up his black powder rifle, set this thing up on a stand somewhere, and just pump a couple rounds into it. Mind you, it'll only take one unless we miss. And that can make for a really good video too, like an iPhone getting eradicated by by an old musket. So, this thing's pretty much dickered. It's basically done. So, I don't know, it's one of those catch-22 things. But on that note, people, I'm gonna end this here rolling vlog here, even though we did more stopping than rolling. And I will probably talk to you guys in the next vlog, which will be tomorrow. Be sure to check out all the links in the description. Tons of links down there. If you want to check out my personal vlog, it's Vlogging Life. Links in the description as well. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to IRL Viral. And until next time, people, keep on vlogging.
He goes, oh, let me hit the throttle. He hits the throttle, and yeah, you know, any car you hit the throttle, she's gonna bark. I'm like, oh yeah, it sounds pretty mean and stuff. And you know, this one was a 5-speed. It wasn't an automatic. Like mine's an automatic, but his was a 5-speed. And sure enough, I'm like, you popped the hood. And he goes, oh, okay. So he pops the hood, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, the headers are clear sign that it's a 6-cylinder. It was a 2.8 liter V6. I'm like, bro, this is a V6. And he's like, no man, 2 of the spark plugs are in the back. You can't really see them, but you gotta reach around back. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? I'm like, listen, I've researched. I'm not a mechanic, but I always research the shit out of things before I buy them. This car is a 2.8 liter V6, 130 horsepower, 190 foot-pounds of torque. And I had all the freaking numbers all crunched out. And he was like, no man, I'm telling you right now, this car is a V8. Look on the ownership. And I'm looking on